Look at this code. Logic says this should crash. We are calling a function on line 1, but we don't even create it until line 3. In most languages, the computer would look at this and say, I have no idea what you're talking about. But JavaScript just shrugs and says, I got you fam, it works perfectly. Today, we are talking about hoisting. It's the closest thing JavaScript has to a magic trick. And if you don't understand how it works, your code is going to start acting like a haunted house. To understand hoisting, you have to realize that JavaScript is a bit of a perfectionist. When you hit run, it doesn't just start executing line 1 immediately. It actually takes a pre-scan of your code. Think of it like a chef preparing a meal. Phase 1 is the creation phase. The chef goes through the recipe and lays out all ingredients on the counter. Phase 2 is the execution phase, where the actual cooking happens. During that first phase, JavaScript looks for all your variables and functions and hoists them, or lifts them to the top of their scope. It's like it's saying, I'll just put these up here so I don't forget them later. But here's where the humor and the headaches begin. Not all ingredients are lifted the same way. Let's look at our old friend var. If you run this code, you don't get an error. You get undefined. Why? Because JavaScript hoisted the declaration of my snack, but it left the pizza behind. JavaScript knows the variable exists, but it hasn't given it a value yet. It's like someone promising you a gift, giving you an empty box and saying, the gift is coming later, stay tuned. Thanks for nothing, JavaScript. Now enter the modern era. Let and const. These guys are like the strict parents of JavaScript. Boom! Error. You might hear people say, let and const aren't hoisted. That's actually a lie. They are hoisted, but JavaScript puts them in what we call the temporal dead zone. It's a place where the variable exists, but you're forbidden from touching it until the code actually reaches the line where it's defined. It's JavaScript's way of saying, don't you dare try to use this before I've properly introduced it. Function declarations, on the other hand, they get the VIP treatment. When you use the function keyword, the entire function, the name and the body, gets hoisted to the top. That's why our magic trick at the start worked. But watch out. If you use a function expression, like a variable holding an arrow function, it follows the variable rules. Because it's a const, it's stuck in the dead zone. You can't call it until the engine officially reaches it. Let's see it in action. First, variable hoisting. Console.log age, and after that, we declare the variable 23, for example. And I save it. Since I declared the variable using the var keyword, what we expect is that we get undefined. Let's see. Go to the console tab. Yeah, you see that we get undefined. So it's kind of like this code, var age, then console.log age, and after that we assign the value. If I comment out this line and save, you see that we get the same result. Now here I remove this and bring it back. This time, instead of var, I use let and then save it. As you see, we get this reference error because now the variable is in temporal dead zone. So even though JavaScript knows that the variable exists, at this point in time, it's not assigned, and we get this error, cannot access age before initialization. Let's focus on functions. I'll comment out this line and, for example, say hi. First I call it, and after that, function declaration. Say hi, which simply logs hello my friend. I save it and you see that we get the result. This is where the magic happens. As you saw, when we use function declaration, this entire function, so both the name and the body, gets hoisted, and we can call that before declaring the function. Now, if I assign this function to a variable, for example, const or let, here I use const say hi and then function like from here, then save it. Again, here you see that we get the error because in this case, only the function name gets hoisted and not the function body. So the variable rules apply here and we get this error. So how do we stay elite and avoid these bugs? Use let and const always. Stop using var. It's 2026. Let it go. Define your variables at the top. Even though hoisting exists, your human brain prefers reading things in order. Call functions after they are defined. Just because you can call a function at the top doesn't mean you should. Understanding hoisting is like knowing how a magic trick works. It doesn't mean you have to perform it every day, but knowing the secret makes you a much better developer. If this video cleared up the dead zone for you, smash that like button and subscribe for more JavaScript tutorials. Until next time, keep coding, keep learning, and as always, stay awesome.